What's up, everybody? This is Zach with Nerd Cave Plus for Thursday, March the 1st, 2018. Feels weird to be out of February. February came and it went and it's gone. It's in the history books.
Too fast. Too fast.
Too furious, some would say.
Yeah.
If you don't know, everybody, my name's Zach, and I'm joined along with my co-host tonight.
Allie.
Nerd Cave Plus is your daily, no, not really daily, twice daily, twice weekly. There we go.
Bi-week, or is bi-weekly every... I think that it can technically mean both things.
Twice weekly.
Yeah, that one.
Show for all the video game news that you need to know, including releases, any updates on stories, any good stuff. All that good stuff. All that good goodies.
Good stuff.
Good stuff, as Posterman would say. 2018.
Posterman 2018. Yeah, we need to have like a good Posterman 2018 quote.
Yeah, good stuff. Not good enough for Posterman.
Yeah, because it was Don't Be Garbage, Posterman 2017. Now we need a quote for Posterman 2018.
Yeah, we'll get there. But, everybody, if you're watching on the live stream, we appreciate everything that you do. If you want to talk to us, we don't check the chat because we want this a clean, nice podcast for all the audio listeners. You can go over to nerdcavenetwork.com/NCP and submit any questions that you might have, and we'd love to get to answer them. Nick Caputo asked a really great one on Tuesday. We got two tonight, and if you have any more, you can put them in on the Google form and all that good stuff.
What was the question from Tuesday? I haven't had a chance to do anything.
What was the question? Oh, what was our top 3 indie games?
From 2017?
Anything.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll let you ponder that one a little bit, and then we'll get back to it. But we want to thank our awesome sponsors over at patreon.com/nerdcave. We have some amazing people that go over there and sponsor us each and every month. It helps keep the lights on, helps us purchase things, get things for the show and everything. So we appreciate all the people that went over to patreon.com/nerdcave, supported us at the $1 or higher tier. And shout out to our Patreon producer, Caleb Palmer, for supporting and producing the show tonight. But you don't want to hear all about that. You want to get into the news, and that's what we're going to be doing. So here we go. Activision will remaster at least one of its IPs in 2018. In an investor report, Activision confirmed that there will be a remastered of at least one of its IPs. In the section concerning expected upcoming releases, Activision had this to say: "We expect to release World of Warcraft Battle of Azeroth and our
Azeroth. Thank you.
whatever.
Thank you.
There's my correction right there. And our latest Call of Duty game in the second half of 2018, which would November, of course, every year.
Whatever.
In addition, we expect to deliver ongoing content on various franchises, including expansion packs for Hearthstone and Destiny 2. In-game events for Overwatch and map packs for Call of Duty World War II, as well as a release of remastered versions of titles from our library of IP. We also expect to release at least 2 new mobile titles, blah, 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 blah." The thing that catches my eye is they're remastering some of their IP, but they say it means multiple ones.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is where what I'm feeling. Let's see if you pick up what I'm putting down.
Okay.
Spyro Trilogy. They've been hinting at that.
Especially because there's been a lot of reboots of old franchises. Like we had Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, which is an Activision title last year.
It is?
Yes, it is.
Well, then.
Yeah, Naughty Dog made it, but it was an Activision property.
Okay.
So we had that. Spyro is an Activision property. So I can see that happening because there was such a huge success with
I remember
the Insane Trilogy.
Years ago, there was McDonald's toys of tiny little Spyro games.
I don't know what that is, but I wasn't a kid then, I don't think.
I don't remember how old I was. It was a long time ago.
Making me feel old. Was it like the Skylanders, or was it actually Spyro games?
If I remember correctly, it was actual little bitty Spyro games.
Interesting.
Okay, maybe it wasn't exactly that, but I remember being at a McDonald's and playing a Spyro game, and I'd never played it before.
Okay, I see what you got now. Where they're little stations that you could play games at or whatever?
I really don't remember. I was like single digits probably.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So I think we're getting that. And then last year we had Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that got remastered and shoved in with one of the games, and like they put out a single version of it. Sold pretty well. I think we're getting Modern Warfare 2 this year.
I could see that.
So that's 2 IPs that are going to get remastered treatments and everything. Totally fine with Spyro. I would go back and play Modern Warfare 2 because I liked the old Call of Duty games, but they're not getting my money. I'll rent it.
My question is, okay, so it's like, are Activision and Blizzard now working on all like Blizzard IPs? Because it said like saying like the new Warcraft expansion and Overwatch.
They're joint together. They're one and the same. If you don't know that, yes. Anytime you buy one of those fancy skins,
but my thing is because like on like the battle. They call it Blizzard app now. Like it's listed as like Blizzard, and then I mean I don't give a crap about who I'm giving my money to.
Sure, you're giving it to the Call of Duty overlords.
Whatever. It's because like they have it separated from Blizzard and then Activision games, and by games it's just the one that's Destiny 2 right now.
Yeah, but they're still a corporation together. So
learn something new every day.
Yeah,
I thought that it was like a recent thing that they were like collaborate.
No, they're together. They've been together for a few years now.
Yeah, I was gonna guess that was like sometime in the last like.
I think it was like the last 5 years.
Last 5 years. Okay.
They've become partners and everything.
Okay. So. Okay. Then I'm not too far off. I was thinking like the last like 3 years.
Yeah, something like that. You know who isn't ruled over by evil people that want all your money for microtransactions?
No one is free from that.
Nintendo is. Nintendo is free of that.
Animal Crossing Pocket.
That's a mobile game. I'm talking about their main titles, like Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey could get more DLC. Super Mario Odyssey's huge wealth of content doesn't mean that future DLC, nope, it says further, DLC is out of the question, but it would need to be a really cool idea, says producer I practiced this earlier. Yoshikai Koizumi, something like that. I practiced it earlier.
Yeah, Yoshiaki Koizumi.
Yes, there we go. Yeah, Koizumi. There's a lot of volume in Super Mario Odyssey. That was a big focus in development. Give the player loads to do, he said. We pushed ourselves to create as much as we could. I can't announce anything specifically today, but of course, if there was a really cool idea for us to do, then we would certainly be thinking about DLC. The game actually just launched some post-game DLC with Luigi's Balloon World Update, which added some new features in there. It has a little cool new mini game, and I also added some new outfits for Mario to wear and everything. So I'm glad to see that them putting more stuff in there. With everything that Super Mario is already, there's a ton to do. Like, I've played 60-plus hours, probably 70 at this point in time, and I haven't put that much time into a game in a very long time. I haven't touched all of it yet. I haven't cracked everything yet. I still got moons to get. I still got places that I haven't explored.
That's good stuff.
So, if you're looking for a game, that's a lot of fun because it is the fastest selling Mario game in America and Europe of all time.
Good stuff.
So, it's continually getting new stuff. They're going to be putting out more stuff because they're not building a new Mario. Well, they're probably starting on it, but it won't come out anytime soon.
No, absolutely not.
So, there you go. Get Super Mario Odyssey. You will be happy.
Speaking of games that recently got new additions, I was like, I got to fit it in somewhere. Overwatch got their 27th hero. It's Brigitte. She's Torbjorn's daughter, and Reinhardt is her godfather, and she's really cool. She's a support hero. She's very much like a paladin build from World of Warcraft. Okay, thank you.
What was that? You just kind of just...
because she's a support hero.
Yeah, she's a support hero because she built... She
has
helped.
this really cool armor. She has... her ranged attacks are really, really cool.
Well, the backstory is like she helped build...
Yes, she helped build and maintains... She currently maintains Reinhardt's armor because... they released backstory, like a little bit of backstory where Torbjorn wrote a letter because Reinhardt saved Torbjorn's life at a point. And so Torbjorn was like, he keeps coming in here, and I'm just like, I told him, like, he's writing this letter to his wife. He's like, I told her that, or excuse me, I told him that if he would just like shut up and leave me alone, he could be the godfather and he could name our daughter, like, whatever. And he's like, sorry, he took that seriously. And so Reinhardt is Brigitte's father. I think I'm saying, or Brigitte's godfather.
Yeah.
And also, like, he named her, and so like they're super close, and they kept throughout all of her hints and stuff, they kept hinting at Jetpack Cat, which was an original, like, one of the original heroes they thought of. They never made it.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, oh, look, it's Jetpack Cat. And even, like, as a kid, it shows her, like, making armor for her cat, and the cat's trying to, like, get away, but she's like, no, I have to give you armor. And so, like, in her, like, release thing, she was like, I'm sitting here and I'm helping people, but I always help them after the fight, and that's not enough anymore. I need to help them during the fight.
Yeah.
And her armor looks very similar to Reinhardt's, obviously, because she maintains his, so they're going to have similar builds. But she can also, like, she can heal people by, like, throwing them, like, repair kits, and if they're at full health, they get armor, if I understand correctly.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, but, like, my friends and I were talking about how her build is very similar to a, like, holy paladin class in World of Warcraft. It's like they're a fighter, but they can also heal.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then a couple of my friends, like, they're sisters, and they were fighting over who was going to get to cosplay her, and so they decided one of them's going to cosplay Brigitte and the other one's going to cosplay Reinhardt. So I'm excited to see it.
Sounds fun.
Also, one of those friends won first place in Journeyman for the Pensacon contest. Thank you.
Don't know what Journeyman means, but
it's
cool.
It's Novice Journeyman Master, and she won first place in Journeyman.
Oh, nice. Is she the one in the blue armor? I saw somebody that was like Overwatch or something that was like in blue armor, pink hair. I don't know.
Oh, no. That was one of my other friends, though. She wasn't in the contest, but
okay.
my friend did help her make that armor.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she was cosplaying Zarya.
Yep. Is that the jetpack girl? No.
No.
She's
Zarya is a
sniping
tank.
one. Yeah, that one.
She's got, like, she's the Russian one.
Yep, doesn't, no.
No, my friend, she did the Death Knight Initiate armor from World of Warcraft. She looked really cool. Cool.
You know what else? Actually, this isn't cool at all.
Oh, okay.
This is a bad segue. PS Plus is going to stop offering PlayStation 3 and Vita games. Starting March 8th, 2019, the PlayStation PlayStation Plus monthly game lineup will no longer include PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita titles, Sony announced today. No other changes are being made to the service so far, and members will still keep access to PS3 and Vita titles they've redeemed or have redeemed, but no new games will be added beyond that point. I understand PlayStation 3, but this is the final nail in the Vita's coffin.
It's been a long time coming.
Why PlayStation?
Honestly, this is me being completely serious. I thought they'd already stopped doing it with Vita games.
No, they've been doing it for a while, and they've just added PlayStation VR. Like, you can get a VR game every month now and everything, which is awesome. I love that. Why you got to do that to my Vita? Why you got to do that to my Vita, man? Even though I play mostly on my Switch now, I still love my Vita. I still am on Vita Island.
Sure you do.
Some more sad news here. Twisted Metal's creator studio has shut down. David Jaffe's studio, the Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency, that's a very interesting developer name. The Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency.
I like it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Has shut down in the wake of a canceled project. Jaffe confirms the studio's subsequent closure to Games Beast, saying, "Yeah, it's all true, I'm afraid, just the nature of the beast. We had a cool game going with the publisher, and as that game is no longer happening, and since all of our funding came from the publishers, we just couldn't keep the place going. It was a fantastic ride, however. I so loved our team and loved working with the crew and remain crazy proud of what we created with Drawn to Death. Excited to see where we all land after this has been one of the very best working experiences of my career thus far." All of our thoughts go out to all the people that have been affected. I know that they created Twisted Metal, which was one of my favorite games growing up. It was like a vehicle combat type game and everything. Very, very old school. Very old school kind of. PlayStation 1 was where it like really first came out and everything. But
yeah, it's very sad, but hopefully they will all be able to find more jobs.
Yeah. I'm sure,
I'm sure
with the talent level and everything, and a lot of games ramping up to finish their projects and everything, they'll definitely be able to get in somewhere.
Especially in the next few months, as people start trying to get on start kicking up
crunch time and
crunch
all of
time
that.
for the holiday season.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll get all their jobs, but our thoughts and prayers go out to all of them, and we hope that they get jobs very, very soon in the industry, and that no one is put out in any bad way.
Yeah.
Interesting bit of news here. Red Bull is launching a fighting game circuit.
I don't understand.
Building off its previous battle and proving grounds tournaments, Red Bull is doubling down on its region-based fighting game circuit, this time called Red Bull Conquest. The tournament series will once again task players from across the United States to represent their region in 15 events across the country and will include an additional online qualifying tournament. This time, however, the event is expanding beyond Street Fighter V, which is now joined by Tekken 7 and Guilty Gear XRD Rev 2. I've never played Guilty Gear. I've heard a lot of good things about it. The winners of each regional tournament will face off in the national finals in Washington, D.C. on the weekend of November 16th. The circuit will travel to the following cities: Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Denver, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York, Orlando, Philadelphia, Phoenix, San Francisco, and Seattle. So I think that's cool. Like, we have a ton of esports stuff going on. Red Bull, of course, trying to capitalize on that.
Oh, sure.
But it's always good to see gamers getting to compete with each other, and like getting publicity and all of that. Because there's a lot of people that really love fighting games. I dabble. I'm like, I dip my toe in.
Just loop, boop, boop. Oh,
and then I'm
you feel that water. Okay.
Yep. And then I'm like, I'm good. I
can't go swimming. I just ate.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just like, oh, crap. Oh. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And then I move on. I move on to another game because I'm done. I'm like, I don't need...
The fighting game thing reminded me, if I'm able to do it, there's a convention in Tallahassee soon. I was thinking about cosplaying as Android 18 because I really liked playing as her in the DBZ fighting game.
I need to finish that game.
I like that, the game... And that character alone have made me actually want to watch DBZ. I really want to watch it because of her and the game. Like, the game was a lot of fun, and she was really cool. So
we need to
once I get the time, I'll do.
We need to have a watching party then.
Yeah.
I've got it. Well, I've got all the regular Dragon Ball Z stuff.
Sub or dub?
Well, Dragon Ball Z definitely dub. That's the way I grew up with it. Like,
no, yeah, I totally understand.
Super, I've watched subtitled, but I'd rather watch it dubbed because I grew up with those voices and everything. But,
yeah, if you're it's kind of one of those for the most part, whichever way you're introduced to an anime, that's kind of how you prefer it.
Yeah, and I've tried to watch Attack on Titan with dubs. No.
Yeah, no, I can't. I could not. I couldn't.
After I started watching it with subs, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Same thing with Naruto. I cannot watch that thing dubbed.
Well, I can't watch that thing, period. I have. There's a thing between me and my friends. I have a vendetta where I can't watch it.
Okay. I got you. Now this made me happy today.
I saw this title and I was like, oh.
This made me happy today because my months are starting to shape up. I can't remember what's releasing this month, but there's something that's supposed to be good. Can't remember off the top of my head, but we might talk about in the releases.
It doesn't matter. What matters is this.
Detroit Become Human has a release date. Quantic Dream founder David Cage took to the PlayStation official blog today to let the world know that their neo-noir cybernetic thriller Detroit Become Human is on the verge of being released. We are proud to announce that Detroit Become Human now has an official release date on the 25th of May. You will finally have the chance to get your hands on Quantic Dream's most ambitious title to date. In a dystopian vision of our near future, Detroit is the story of 3 androids, 3 machines designed to obey who start to feel emotions. Confronted with the persecution and violence of society, they will have to decide who they want to be.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been excited for this game ever since they released. It was like a little short that they made. It's called, was it Kara, I think?
Yeah, Kara. Mm-hmm.
I think it was mainly just to like showcase the
It was to show the
graphics, right?
the graphics and everything, and then it just kind
And
of.
then people were like, "Oh my gosh, please make this a game!" And eventually they were like, "Hey guys, remember that thing we made like I think it was like, I'm trying to remember how many years passed between these before they said anything."
It was like a year, maybe.
It was like a year or two,
something like
they
that.
were just like, "Hey guys, remember that thing we made? By the way, it's gonna be a game." And everyone was like, "What?" And then like they didn't say anything for a while, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, here's a trailer." And everyone was like, "What?"
Yeah, and it looks good. I've enjoyed Quantic
So
Dream's
excited.
games so far. I never got to play the one that was after Heavy Rain. It had Ellen Page in it.
I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember what it's called.
I never got to play that one, and I know it re-released with everything. The big problem with that game was everything was very out of chronological order, so it made no storytelling sense.
Sure,
They didn't
sure.
tie it together well enough. And then they re-released it recently, I think last year, where you could play it at the original way or you could play it in chronological order to make it more sense and everything. And then they released Heavy Rain as a remaster on PlayStation 4 as well. So if you haven't played Heavy Rain, I highly suggest getting that game. It is very good, except for where you have the dad looking for the little kid and
What is it? It's what is it? It's
Jason
Like,
or
yeah,
something.
Jason. It's like X to Jason or something like that.
Yeah.
Jason.
yeah, that part and
so
weird
great.
like weird makeout scenes with like poorly animated people. It's like this is so awkward. You know, it's like back in the day and everything.
Yeah, no.
I think it was like Beyond Two Souls.
That sounds right. It's
that
like, yeah,
it?
Beyond Souls or Beyond Two Souls, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Just trying to.
So, but Detroit Become Human is
excited.
a while away.
Yeah,
We
Beyond
got-
Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. See, I got it. But Detroit Become Human is a long ways away.
Yep.
But we got some stuff that is coming out today.
Do tell.
Game releases for March the 1st. Arcade Archives Star Force for the Switch. Bridge Constructor Portal for the PlayStation 4. Bulb. Like
Oh,
bulb.
Bulb. I was trying
Boy.
to see like where you were talking.
PlayStation
about
4. Call of Duty World War II, The Resistance DLC for the Xbox One and PC. Damascus Gear Operation Tokyo for the Switch. Detention, Switch. A Whole New World for the Switch.
But like a hole, like
Yeah,
in
like
the ground,
in the
not
ground.
like a whole piece of pie.
Little Triangle for the Switch. Malacca for the Switch. Malacca actually looks really good. It's from this game company that is in Mexico, actually. And I've only gotten a little look at what the game is, but it has a very unique art direction. It kind of reminds me slightly, and the art direction looks nothing like this. Actually, it kind of looks like Rhyme and a mix of Severed and a mix of Journey together.
Yeah, I was gonna say it really reminds me of Journey.
So I'm excited to get that on my Switch and
really
play
cool.
that. A normal lost phone for the Switch. I think that used to be that. If that's the same game that I think about, like you find the game is you find a phone and you're trying to figure out who this person is, and like you start reading their text and like their emails and everything. I think that's what that game is.
It sounds like a really cool way to like tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds very interesting.
Packet Queen hashtag or number sign for the Switch. Paper Wars Cannon Fodder Devastated for the Switch. RTO 2 for the Wii U. Why would you put your game on the Wii U? You're not going to sell anything. Not going to sell anything.
I don't know.
CM Speedrunners from Hell, PlayStation 4. Don't know what that is. Subsurface Circular for Switch. Super Lucky's Tale Gilly Island DLC, Xbox One and PC. Tekken Mobile, iOS and Android. Totes the Goat
Totes the goat.
for Switch. Games releasing for tomorrow, March the 2nd. Malacca for Xbox One. Pit People for Xbox One and PC, Shopkeep Xbox One, The Story Goes On Xbox One, Super Toy Cars for the Switch, Turok. Now this is big. When I started seeing that they were remaking, they didn't really like remake Turok. They just kind of like made it run on the Xbox One.
Excuse me.
It doesn't look good, but I've never played Turok, but I've always wanted to play Turok. It's like you fight like dinosaurs with guns. Like
Ooh, it does. It sounds very familiar.
yeah, it's very 90s like like
feel
metal
like I've
cover band type deal.
Yeah, because I feel like I've seen it before, or at least like I've seen like pictures of it before. So.
So Turok and Turok 2 Seeds of Evil will be coming on the Xbox One tomorrow. So that's exciting stuff. But that's not where the show ends tonight. We got some questions.
Cuestiones.
Question 1 comes from Derek Daniel. Of the big 6 PlayStation 4 exclusives coming out this year, supposedly one is already out, Shadow of the Colossus, which is very good. I've enjoyed my time with that.
Which Colossus are you on?
I'm still on 3. I've killed 3, so I'm on the 4th. Haven't played since then. And 2 have firm release dates: God of War April 20th, and now Detroit Become Human May 25th. So how will Sony play out the other 3 games, Days Gone, Dreams, and Spider-Man, for the rest of 2018? Do you think any of these 3 will get delayed out of 2018?
I think that we could see Spider-Man sometime in the summer, probably around like July. One around September, and then one coming out around the holiday season, if they plan to do all 3 in 2018.
Yeah, for me, I think the one that would get pushed, and it's been pushed so many times, is Dreams.
Dreams, I don't know that much about Dreams.
Quantic Dreams is actually making the game, but they've continually pushed the game back. They've been working on it for years, and if they don't put it out soon, I think their studio is going to get shut down, to be honest. But I think Days Gone is probably one of the closer ones to get pushed. But then you're getting closer to Last of Us 2, which I think Last of Us 2, I doubt it comes out in 2019. I think it's a 2020 game.
Yeah.
But I think Days Gone or Dreams are the more
that's what
likely to get pushed.
Spider-Man will come out.
Spider-Man's going to come out this year.
Spider-Man.
I think it will come out July or August.
Yeah, I'm thinking July or August.
September at the latest, and what I'm feeling. If Days Gone comes out this year, when does Red Dead come out? Red Dead.
That's a good question.
I think it comes out in October 26th. So they're going to give Red Dead a wide berth.
Yeah, they are.
So if Spider-Man comes out in July, then I would say September they come out with Days Gone.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
And then Dreams, it's more of a kiddie game, so I could see it either get pushed or come out in November.
Yeah, come out like November-ish, yeah.
Yeah, so I see that more happening. If anything gets pushed, it would be either Days Gone or Dreams.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I think if you put Days Gone at the beginning of 2019, it would sell like crazy.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
that's usually where, like, this year and last year we had a lot at the beginning of the year.
But but like this upcoming year, there's not.
There's
as far
nothing,
as we know, there's not going to be.
Yeah, there's nothing set yet. So if I
could see them doing that.
If I was setting everything up, I would put Days Gone at the very beginning of the year.
They did that with what was that game?
Resident Evil did really well, and Just Cause.
Yes, Resident Evil, but I'm thinking of the year before. I think year or two before was a Zambo game.
Zambo game?
Something about
zombie game?
Yeah, zombie game.
Okay.
Zambo game.
Okay, you're talking about Days Gone.
Was it Days Gone?
Not Days Gone. It's the parkour one.
It was like something light.
Dead Island. No,
not Dead Island. It was like
Deadlight. Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight.
There we go.
I was like, I know like Daylight is in there, but I can't remember the rest of it.
Dead by Daylight sold crazy.
Yes, it did.
Because it was in that area and everything, and we look at Resident Evil and everything did really well, and then you've seen
Zambo games.
Yeah, all the zombie games go in there, and then you've seen the success of Horizon being in February and Zelda being in February. That area is untapped because there's so many games that come out at the end of the year. It would be good to either put it at the beginning or have it in the summer when there's nothing that's put out and you just sit around. I
recently saw something about Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't remember what it was.
It's its year's birthday.
Is that what it is? What it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. Follow-up question from Derek. Shifting to Microsoft's 3 big exclusive, or the ones we know about, only one has a release date, Sea of Thieves, for March 20th, and the other 2, Crackdown 3 and State of Decay 2, are just spring games. While I've read rumblings of State of Decay 2 releasing in May, Crackdown 3 just has a placeholder date of March 31st. But here we are, March 1st, and still no word on this game will release by this month. How will Microsoft play out these 2 games, and when do you think we will hear about them? Also, do you think they'll have any other big exclusives planned for the rest of the year besides the obvious Forza title? Will we get a new Halo or Gears of War? So let's break it down. We got a few questions in here.
I was going to say, I don't mean to hate, but it's a question. Split it up, okay? Thank you, Derek.
How will Microsoft play out these 2 games, and when do you think we will hear about them? So March 20th, we're getting Sea of Thieves. They're not going to put out another game in the same month.
No.
So the next game that I think will come out that has to come out this year is Crackdown 3. It has to come out this year. Yeah. So we get a March game.
I think they're saying that you saying rumblings of State of Decay 2 releasing May. I could see Crackdown being in May. Probably May at the earliest.
If I was planning this out, I'd put March so we get first quarter type deal for the first one. I would do June or July.
Yeah.
For Crackdown, because it's a fun game, that sort of deal, and people by then are starting to fall off of Sea of Thieves.
Hold on, let's call dates. I'm gonna say I'm feeling June 22nd, but I need to see what day of the week that is.
Well, most Xbox games.
It's a Friday. It's possible.
Most of those come out on a Thursday.
Thursday, okay, then June 21st.
You already called the 22nd. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm going to say the 28th of June for Crackdown 3.
All right.
So are we like...
I was just I don't know, fun, just call dates, why not?
You're going to have to remember this because I'm never going to remember
I'm not going to remember it either. Let us know. Remind us when we get close to the time. Let us know.
State of Decay, what would be great for it is... release it in September.
I was going to say a fall game, September.
Release it in September and then do a special event for Halloween.
Ooh, that's a good idea. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Call up Microsoft. Let them know.
Yeah, hey, Phil Spencer,
Hey, yo, Phil.
I know I'm big on PlayStation.
But we're still bros, that.
I got a suggestion. Sorry,
I thought you put the phone down. It's and he hung up. Okay.
I got a suggestion for you. If you're listening to the audio, I'm pretending to have a phone call with Phil Spencer. I got a suggestion for you. State of Decay 2 needs to come out in September.
Why September? Why?
Because it preps for a cool Halloween event in October.
But see, that makes so much sense, but it makes too much sense. So we probably shouldn't do that because we're Microsoft.
Yeah, well, guess what? PlayStation owns you, son. Shuhei Yoshida for life. Everybody's like, oh, although Microsoft. I've got a Xbox One over there. I just never turn it on. Okay.
I have no beef against Microsoft.
The second
beef against Microsoft.
Question. Also, do you think they'll have any other big exclusives planned for the rest of the year besides the obvious Forza title?
No, because they would have released. They would have
said something. They need to say something. Yeah. I don't think they have anything up their sleeves. They're just trying to get Crackdown 3 out because it was supposed to come out when the console came out.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
Gears of War, the sales numbers were.
I was gonna say I don't see another Gears of War coming out, but another Halo for sure. I don't know
but
definitely another
there will
Halo.
be another Gears, but I think they've got to do something to make it interesting for people.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I'm a huge Gears fan, and playing through that game, I was like, all right.
Cool.
You know, I was bored with the game, like the gameplay, like the story was okay. Like all I cared about was getting Marcus back. That was the only thing that I really cared about.
I don't know who Marcus is, but he sounds like a bro.
Yeah, he is a bro. He's my bro.
He's your bro.
Halo, they've already said that they're not putting out a game this year.
Well, yeah, definitely not that. Yeah, none of these games are going to come out this year.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
I think these are the three that they've got, and
Yeah.
I think Sea of Thieves will be a very cool thing. And I think it's telling also that they have no cards to play with them putting their exclusives on Game Pass.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like they've got no cards to play this year. They're trying to get anybody to bite on something.
Yeah.
And I think they're going after third parties to like create deals like PUBG. That was an awesome deal for them. They made a ton of money from it.
Which is it's really great for all the third party like makers and publishers and stuff.
You know, and that's one third party deal that did well, like exclusivity wise.
And there's plenty that won't do well. Sure,
Yeah, because you look at Tomb Raider, the second one did not do well for Tomb Raider. You know, and that because Tomb Raider is essentially a PlayStation property from the beginning.
Yeah.
So like you've got to be careful of like what you align yourself to. I know Assassin's Creed had a lot of good stuff that was on Xbox One first, and it was very Xbox One heavy. So doing that sort of thing will definitely keep everything flowing.
Faux show.
These three, I think that's all they got.
Yeah, that's
this
all
year.
they're gonna get. It's like they'll probably start teasing some stuff like come fall. But yeah, I would be very surprised if they were like, oh, by the way, we have another game coming out. I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, the only thing I could see would be indie stuff that they
Indie
might
stuff,
have.
Yeah, maybe some like very late, like near Christmas or like near the holiday season, like the Minecraft stuff
Yeah.
for the kiddies. But it'd be like really like minor stuff.
Yeah, so, you know, a way out is, I think, all platforms, so I don't think that they might...
I'm pretty sure that's...
You know, they might do something with it. That would be something. You
But,
know,
like-
partner with the devil that is EA and get some exclusivities.
Also, I found the last time I was on here. Also, I said, I said like who won like the Overwatch League, and I said their name wrong. I confused two names. It's London Spitfire. I think I said London Uprising, but it's Boston Uprising and London Spitfire. So it's London Spitfire. Anyway, there's like the meme I was talking about where it's like they like made it look like.
EA.
Yeah, EA. What it was like, we are taking all your money, but they capitalized the E and the A. I just wanted to clarify. I just remember that and wanted to clarify it. Doesn't make it any funnier. I just wanted to clarify it.
Well, there you go, guys.
Anyway.
We got one more question. I think it's a good one. It's from our friend, Nick Caputo. If you could have one remake done, what would it be? And what system would you prefer it on?
I actually, as soon as I read this question, all of the games I want remakes of left my mind, and I was like, oh no. So you go first while I try to remember.
I know which one I want. Like, I can still play the game right now, and it still looks pretty good and still runs. The story's still amazing. It's a toss-up between two. It's from the same developer, regardless. Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
sure.
I would love the original trilogy, remastered, new graphics and everything cleaned up, the handles, you know, all of that good stuff. I actually liked that there was ammunition in the first game. I know some people didn't care for that. I didn't like the cooldown system that they introduced in the second and third game. But I would love it. If I only could get one of them and not the whole trilogy, I'd take the first one every day.
That's fair.
Because the first one is amazing. And then
System?
PlayStation.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
At this point, I played Mass Effect on the Xbox.
Lame.
Well, Mass Effect 1 didn't come out on the PlayStation.
Lame.
And
Jeez, BioWare.
They put 2 and 3 on the PlayStation and like gave you like a choice, like a comic kind of choice or whatever, to like fill in the first story and everything. But
they have that for Dragon Age as well.
yeah, so that's how that would go down. At this point, I would rather have it for the PlayStation 4. But if I had to be true to my nature for that series, which I wasn't with Andromeda, but whatever.
No one was. Not
It
even
would
BioWare.
have to be on Xbox, but I would
fair.
rather have it on PlayStation.
You saying that reminded me of the two games. One is especially that I want remakes for. It is another BioWare property, the Dragon Age games. Because one has not aged well.
One didn't age well when it came out because it looked like garbage.
Yeah, it looked like garbage. It still looks like garbage. But if I had, because like, and so it'd be really cool to like see it like look nice, and like, it'd be weird because 2 and Inquisition have voice acting in it for the main character, but there's so many dialogue options for the Warden in 1 that so there's not a voice actor really. Like there's like the grunt work and stuff. But like it would be kind of weird to go back to that because I don't think they would change that.
It would be nice if they did.
No, it would
change
be nice, but out of 1 and 2, I would want them to remake 2 because they rushed 2, so they didn't get to put as much work and as much love into it as they wanted to because they were rushing it.
Yeah.
So I would love to see them go back, remake it, because like you can definitely tell like what they wanted from the game, but it still feels very like I love the story and I love all the characters, but it still feels very bare because it was rushed. So I would love to see that game like remade with all like the time, TLC that they wanted to put into it. So, and then plus you get more Sassy Hawk. And Sassy Mage Hawk, guys, come on. Mage Hawk is the only Hawk. Because it's default Hawk in Inquisition, it's like whatever.
I can't remember. I played as a warrior.
I played as a Sassy Marion Hawk, which is female Hawk.
Yeah, I played as a female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Garrett's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Yeah, majority of the time, other than Mass Effect, majority of the time I play as a female, just because.
Because you don't get that. Like, I mean, granted, like it's become much more prevalent, which is amazing. But it used to be you didn't really get that option a whole lot.
No, you didn't.
So,
and it was more interesting because most of the other games were filled with men, and it was just kind of like I want something different, And I remember not the first one, Inquisition. I remember Dragon Age 1. I bought it. I was like, oh, this is BioWare. I love Mass Effect. I was like, I want another game like that. Started it. It looked so bad.
It looks so bad. The combat is so slow and janky. And another problem I had, because like I do really admire the story, and I need to finish it. I'm like not far in at all. I have it for the 360. And now that
backwards compatibility.
I was gonna say now that we've moved and like I don't have to like go. I could like I want to go downstairs. Like the Xbox will be like right there. Maybe I'll play it more.
Like I remember playing all the way to where like you did the ritual to be a Grey Warden and everything.
Yep.
I stopped playing after that.
Where I left off, I had just gotten to Redcliffe.
Oh yeah, Redcliffe is.
Yeah, I think I was a little. Yeah. I was somewhat into Redcliffe.
Yeah. So that was my first foray into it, and then
the thing is like my first introduction was Inquisition, which is
totally
the
different.
best introduction to get into it.
So I sold my copy, and then Daniel, because my friend Trevor, he was big into it. And I was like, I'm going to give this game another chance, but I didn't want to buy it. Daniel had a copy of it, and he said, do you want this? I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
It was brand new. There was I was like, yeah. So I started playing it. I fell in love with that game. It is so good.
It's a great game. It's just like you really have to let yourself get used to the old graphics and the old mechanics.
Well,
and
it was
combat.
It was still in that era and everything, but the graphics on the PC they still looked really good. It's on the which I think they just kind of crapped out on that, and they just put it where like it was like lowest graphic settings and everything
for sure.
But the thing that I liked about the combat back then was I could actually plan out all of my moves.
Sure.
And that's one thing that I liked about it. But then when 2 came along, I did like the more free-flowing combat and everything. And you did have the option of stopping and setting things up and everything.
Yeah, I think that was the thing is like going from Inquisition, everything is very fast-paced, but you can slow it down. You can like do it's like the tactic
view
or
whatever.
So you can plan out every little thing, but it's still very fast-paced, and it's still, for the most part, feels very fluid, and there's all these really cool ability trees. Like, I understand that's in all the games, but it's very refined in Inquisition because they had years to refine it.
Yeah.
And so going from that because I think I went Inquisition. I think I might have played a little bit of 2, but then Origins.
Yeah.
And so, like, going, like, it was just a huge, like, drawing. I was like, whoa. And, I got more used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And there were some really cool abilities in Origins, like, because I played as a mage, because I'm basic.
Yeah.
Well, it's also because, like, my first character in Inquisition was a mage, so I was like, in each game I play, no matter, like, how many times I play it, I want my first one to be a mage, just to, keep with the trend. But there's, like, these cool, like, cones that you can get, so like it was like a cone of fire or something, and I was like, oh, that's a really cool move. And you can also see like, oh, moves that like, or okay, that this move in Inquisition was kind of, it came from this thing, and then that's still here in this game and that game. So it's really cool to like see where it all started, and of course the story stuff is very cool to see that. But like Cullen Rutherford, he looks the Templar. He's in all 3 games.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he's in all 3 games. There's a few characters who are in all 3 games. There's, what is her name? Morrigan's mother. Oh my gosh, what is her name?
Yep, that one.
Anyway, she's in all 3 games. I know her as Mathal. So spoilers, I guess. Who else is in all 3 games? The Warden is mentioned in all 3 games. You only see him or her. You only see them in the first one, obviously.
Yeah.
I believe. I know Alistair is in all 3 games.
Yeah.
He. It's possible that he doesn't show up in 2, but he can.
Yeah, depending on what your choices are.
Yeah, depending on what your choices are.
Yeah.
I believe Liliana's in all 3 games. I could be wrong about that.
She might be.
I think she pops up for like a second in 2.
The wizard in 2. There's a wizard in 2. I think he shows up in 3.
Which one?
It was a guy wizard. I can't remember his name.
Anders?
Yeah.
He does. They talk about him. I don't think you actually get to see him. I could be wrong about that. Because he, starts everything.
Yeah.
And then of course you have Hawk from 2 to 3. But so like I'm curious to see which characters, because I know I don't think we're gonna see Mathal in 4. So like I'm curious to see if they'll keep like Cullen and Alistair and all those different characters, if they'll like make a cameo in the next game or not.
Yeah.
They've been in all the other ones previously.
Like one thing that was kind of stood out about the first one is after you're in combat, there was like blood spattered all over you. And like that was so different for the time because I have never played a game like, there was blood like when we were fighting
when
everything.
It sticks on you for a while.
Yeah, and that was always a very different thing because like it stuck with you, and I always thought it was very interesting. And the DLC for the first game is probably some of the best DLC that I've ever played. It is really, really good, and like which DLC is that? That's the It's the only one I know the cover art.
I can't remember like what's
I can't remember what the name.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember what it's called.
What was really cool about that is like you do different tasks or you do different things for other people, and it helps build your fort up and everything. But there are some hard choices. It's like if you do this, it takes away from this. And it was just an interesting like balancing act throughout all of that because you had the what is the blight?
Yeah, the blight.
Like that was coming against you and everything. So, sticking with BioWare, another one I would want is the KOTOR series.
Oh yeah.
1 and 2, especially 1, like up-res the graphics, like redo all of that. Like that would just be awesome to have again, and it looked great. Or make a KOTOR 3, that would just sell.
I think Isabella is in all 3 games because she shows up for like.
She is not in the first one, I don't think.
Apparently, she shows up for like a few minutes for a possible romance scene.
I don't remember that.
Cause like it's it's inappropriate things, but I'm pretty sure she shows up for like a very, very, very short amount of time, if I remember that from my friends correctly. And then she's in one of the Inquisition DLCs.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I like Isabella. She was a cool
character. She's really cool.
I liked her like double bladed like daggers.
Yeah, she's
was really cool.
She's very spunky.
So there you go, guys. If you want to get your question answered on Nerd Cave Plus, just like Derek and Nick did tonight, all you have to do is go over to nerdcavenetwork.com/NCP and toss us some awesome questions. Yeah. If you have a suggestion for the show, like a new segment or anything, you do that there as well. And if we, for some odd reason, messed up something tonight, you can let us know in the correction sections of the Google form, and then we'll talk about it on the next episode. If you don't already have your phone subscribed to the podcast version of this, you can go over to any podcast service around the globe. Like, are you trying to hide that you're drinking?
No.
It looked like you're like trying to hide with. Yeah. You can go over to any podcast service, subscribe there, rate us, give us 5 stars, let everybody know what is so awesome about the Nerd Cave Plus show. And everybody will be back on Tuesday with more video game news that you need to know. Just making sure nobody just submitted another question. And we'll be back and all that good stuff. We enjoy the show. We hope you enjoy it as well. Make sure to share it with somebody that you love and that loves video games. So this has been Zach.
And Allie.
For March the 1st, 2018.
Yep, it's going quick.
It is.
It's going real quick.
Have a week.